Impro Theater and the cast and crew of this online performance would like to take this time to honor the indigenous peoples of the ancestral and unceded homelands we each inhabit, and to consider the legacy of colonization and its far-reaching effects.
Hello, folks. Thanks for joining us for Tennessee Williams Improvised, where you'll see a completely improvised play in the style of American playwright Tennessee Williams. We're going to need your help to improvise this play. So if you could enter into the chat for us an image from nature, it'd be appreciated. And while you're doing that, I'll take an opportunity to encourage you to stick around on our YouTube page after this show for a 4:30 performance of Love Improvised, completely improvised plays in the style of contemporary romantic comedies. For more information about Impro School streaming shows, make sure to visit www.improtheater.com for more information. That's Impro Theater with an RE.com. Well, that's enough for me. Let's go into the chat and see what wonderful images from nature were suggested from our audience. Okay, let me go check. Well, these are all really good. Let's see, which one should I choose? Oh, I don't know. Oh, wow, all right. Let's go with the one, simple, a crow. I like that one. So I'm gonna go with the crow, and thanks for the suggestion. And now it's time to enjoy Tennessee Williams Improvised.
Chastity Bonham, you are a stubborn woman. You have been downright rude to me and my business proposal. Now, it is true that you are in a position to rule your father's business, but in my opinion, it would be much better managed by myself. And therefore, I offer you my business proposal as well as my offer of marriage, which I think if you are a wise woman, you will consider. You are not getting any younger. As the gray creeps in, you may think to yourself, perhaps I should have compromised. Perhaps I should have listened to what Mason had to say. I've spoken with your mother. She knows where I stand. Take some time and think about this.
Vernon Winston Livingston. Well, I swear, you're standing in front of me with a business proposal and a marriage proposal at the same time. I am not sure how to handle either.
Well, I think you should look at the time remaining in your life and the obligations you have to your family and consider this. Marriages are about more than just love, although that will grow. But the very stake, your family is at stake here. Now I have made my feelings clear.
Vernon, my family has done very well in the past 100 years it has been living in this county, Dunham County. Now, Vernon, don't you dare laugh at me. How you expect me to marry you when you are laughing at me?
I feel free to laugh at you because, well, according to the local paper, your business has not been doing all that well, has it?
That local paper, I swear, they'll write up anything that anybody says, whether it's true or not.
All right, well, you do all the thinking you have. I'll be back on Monday. Think on your answer.
Vernon, I swear.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with me, Virgil. Your paper has printed some awful things about our family, saying that our businesses are not doing well. Well, I take a personal offense to this affront, and I will not be disrespected in print or in any other manner.
Now, Penelope, I understand the way you're feeling. And I understand that you may have strong opinions about how I run my paper. But you cannot deny that you and your sister Chastity are ripe for controversy. My paper and my reporters and myself do nothing but simply reveal what the truth is. So if you're upset about something that my paper has published about you or your family or your business or anything like that, I think you need to have a look inside at what's wrong with yourself that other people are then seeing.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you, sir? I had you here into my home, hoping to reach some sort of agreement. I have poured you several drinks. I have been kind to you. And you are going to refuse to help me. Oh, ever since my husband died, I felt so alone.
Well, Penelope, I must say, the kindness you've shown me is much appreciated. And the drinks are delicious. However, I am a man of my word, and my business is my business, and therefore my remarks remain the same. If you feel wronged by something that I have done, while I appreciate you coming directly to me with it, perhaps you need to take a look at yourself. Penelope, you and Chastity are very notorious around Durham County. Very notorious, I might add.
Notorious for what? For caring about our community? For being citizens who stand up and emote pride for our great county? If that is what I'm being accused of, I declare myself guilty. But we are excellent businesswomen. And you should know that we don't need man to do anything for us. But if a man does help us, we can be quite thankful.
It's funny you mention that, Penelope, because I have it on good account that your sister Chastity is refusing to marry, and that suitor after suitor after suitor have gone to her house, wooed her, tried to get her hand in marriage, and none of it's worked. So I think that when you say that you don't need men in your life, or whatever it was, that might be the first thing you've said all evening that I agree with.
Mm-hmm. We haven't found a man worthy of her. If you can find a man that is worthy, we will consider it. You newspaper man, go find me a man.
Vernon! Vernon, are you back?
I am back, Xavier. I will not be summoned like some common scullery maid.
Oh, jeez. Vernon, come on. Did she say yes?
Obviously, she didn't say yes. I'd be here popping champagne if she said yes.
Vernon.
She sits there upon her throne, upon her with her greeting card company, spending money. So she thinks she's going to have it all to herself.
It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, you said, hey, leave it up to me, Xavier. We'll talk, have a few drinks. It'll take a day or two. Well,
Xavier, if you could climb out of that mint julep for just a moment, you will realize that we are in a bit of a corner here. We need this business. I cannot afford to accept no for an answer. I will do what needs doing. My question to you, Xavier, is how will you help me achieve this?
I hear a lot of eyes. I can't afford. What do you mean you can? We can't afford this. This is no laughing matter.
I agree, Xavier. I agree.
Look, we have put our heads together, and we have never failed when we put our heads together. And this is the first time where we come up with a plan it's the only plan that we have been able to conjure up, and it's not working.
Xavier, you may not understand this, but a law practice does not function if one of its members is an alcoholic. Now, until you are ready to get yourself together and find a way to contribute to our mutual income, I do not know that I can credit any of your advice. Don't drink when I'm talking to you, Xavier. I'm going to talk to the paper. It's the only thing I can think of. They need to understand that the business is not safe in the hands of the Bonham sisters. It is not. Where will this town go if one of its major institutions falls through?
I like
I'm going to
that
talk to the
angle.
paper. And you? Where will you be, Xavier?
I'll be here concentrating on backup plans.
Yes.
Sister, you need to marry.
Now, Penelope, you know that just because men exist doesn't mean I have to have one in my life. I mean, they are good for a few things, but they are not good for marriage.
No, I could take or leave a man just like a wart, but our business is failing. The paper knows. I had the newspaper man over here, and I even tried to seduce him, and he wouldn't even bed me. I'm trying to save our reputations here.
Penelope, your saving a reputation is not really exactly what you do well, because you've never even saved your own. Oh, don't you dare give me that. Oh. Penelope, now don't you.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking. I've never heard such a thing.
Penelope, well, it's best you hear it from me and not from everyone else that says it behind your back.
I have an impeccable reputation, and I curse somebody to hell if they say otherwise. I've never been so disrespected in my entire life. I'm out there trying to peddle my wares just to save you and this our family's reputation. You're gonna come here with your insults. All I've ever done is try to save us from the poorhouse. And now you come and insult me in my own home. I used to play as a baby girl on that couch. And now that beautiful velvet couch with gold embroidery has seen my sister disrespect me in front of it. Oh, the shame. Don't look at me, couch. Don't look at me, couch.
Penelope, are you done?
I haven't even begun to start.
Virgil, I do not care about your journalistic ethics or whatever it is you call it. I'm here to talk about things that are relevant to all of Durham County.
Mr. Livingston, I appreciate your input on my morals and ethics. Trust me, I do. But the fact remains that slandering someone in a paper is not exactly the point of what the Durham County Gazette does.
At least do me a favor and join me out here. I just want to appreciate the sunset with my old friend.
Joyce, can you take care of this final print, please? All right, Vernon. For old time's
But
sake.
I know it's difficult. Just look out here at this little pebble we call home. Now, I love Durham County, and I have a special place in my heart for the Bonham family. We all do. But those sisters they are not fit to manage the livelihood of this town. You know that. Penelope is a passionate woman, but dangerous and fiery. And Chastity is the most stubborn woman I've met this side of, well, anywhere I can think of. Now, what's going to happen when real decisions need to be made? Someone needs to take the wheel, a firm hand, much like mine. It is in all of our interests.
Well, Vernon, as your friend, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I agree that the Bonham sisters are not the most reliable, business-savvy people that have ever come through this town. And I would agree that if a certain op-ed was sent out in next week's issue that revealed the truth of the Bonham sisters and how they do things over there, that would be devastating for the company. And then they would have no choice but to sell to the most worthy contender, which would be you. Unfortunately, I'm saying all of that as your friend. And if we want my business acumen to be fulfilled, well, we simply need to play their game and win. I know that Chastity has turned away all sorts of men, including yourself. A terrible decision, if you ask me.
She's thinking on it. She is thinking on it.
You know what her answer is going to be, Vernon. She's been thinking about it for 30 years now. All type of men have gone into that home and come out empty-handed. All men except for me. I've tried to remain as neutral as I can, but perhaps now is the time that I pay Chastity a visit. Penelope was coming on to me the last time I saw her. How hard could it be for her sister to see the same thing she did?
Virgil, I did not think you had it in you to wade in up to your hips like this.
Well, as I said, I agree with everything you said. I think that they're a disaster waiting to happen. And Dunham County would be better off in someone more capable.
Virgil, I need this. Do you understand me? This town is like a prison sometimes. I cannot afford to be locked down here with Xavier drinking in the profits.
I think the picture is starting to clear up for me. I understand how much this means to you. And I won't let you down. I will not fail, Vernon. As you said, for old time's sake.
Penelope, thank you. Thank you for this drink. Oh, it's been a tough week.
Oh, you are telling me to bear the brunt of it. It's like being slapped every 3 seconds this week.
Well, I don't know what it is with people that they just won't do what you expect them to do. I mean,
oh, you're telling me.
Vernon won't listen to me. All he focuses about is drinking, as if that's an issue for a lawyer. And Chastity just keeps telling him no. I mean, at this rate, it'll be years because they're out of our lives. I mean, how long is it going to take? You were going to talk to her.
I did, but the woman, she's manic, I tell you. She won't listen to reason. I have tried talking to her.
No.
I don't think that she respects me. If she did.
Don't cry, Penelope. You know what that does to me.
Oh.
Oh.
You've always been the one I can turn to.
You've always had a hold on me, Penelope.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but at night when I close my eyes, I dream of us dancing.
I have the same dreams. I mean, what is it going to take for them to leave us alone? And you could just run the company by yourself. You don't need your logical, painstakingly annoying sister to...
I know, but she has the conservatorship. For some reason, a judge thought that she was more logical than me. Damn that judge. I hope he burns in hell.
Well, you know judges. I mean, that's why I never wanted to be a judge. I just stayed in the law firm, protecting the innocent.
Like you protect me.
Yes, dear.
Would it be too forward if I gave you a kiss?
Of course not, my dear.
I'm coming in now. I hope you're ready for magic.
Chastity, I must say, you have a mighty fine home. I can't believe it's taken me so long to finally see it from the inside.
Well, Virgil, it's so nice of you to stop by unannounced, as I would expect. So what brings you inside my house on this quite a lovely day outside?
I was just, I was in the area. Figured I'd drop by.
Well, Virgil, we've known each other for what, 20 years now? And you haven't been one to drop by to see me at my house. It always seems to be that I hear about you dropping by to visit Penelope on more than one occasion.
And that would be true. In the past 20 years, I have visited Penelope a lot more than I visited you.
Yes.
And therein lies the biggest mistake. You see, I was with Penelope not but a few days ago. And I couldn't help but notice that she was very forward with me. Very forward.
Virgil, now, Virgil, you know that Penelope's middle name, I swear, was Forward. I swear, Penelope Forward Bonham. I swear, that girl's got she's got no class, no nothing. I swear, people talk about men coming into my house and leaving with nothing for 30 years or whatever people say about me, but Lord knows the men that come in for her, well, they just take everything. They take everything they want from her, and that's fine. She chose that herself. I love her dearly. She is my sister, but we are opposites, you know. I swear.
I think that's so obvious. Even a blind man could see that, Chastity. It's just a little bit interesting to me, though, that you have your reputations around town, which are, in my opinion, unfounded. You know, you must wait for the right man. You can't just take any old guy who walks in here just because the house is big. But funny enough, Penelope and I were talking about my paper the last time we were speaking. And the thought crossed my mind that if a certain story was developed in a paper and printed, sent around the world, or at least around our little county, well, that would turn a lot of people's opinions. And that would make a certain entity that this story is about, well, the opinion of people on that entity would be whatever that paper said. Are you following me, Chastity?
Of course, Virgil, because you tend to write a lot of very interesting articles in your paper, and many of them aren't true. Or your sources seem to be a little, should I say, a little shady.
Well, that's the thing there, Chastity. That's where you're wrong. My paper only prints the truth. That's what our pledge has been for all these many years. So when people read a story in our paper, they know that that is the truth. And I would prefer if you not rag on my reporters or my vocation in such a manner.
Now, Virgil, you know when Penelope and our father died, he died of natural causes. And yet your paper seemed to think that there was some sort of action, self-action on his part that caused his death. And my father, he had a heart condition, and of course he was bound to die of a heart attack someday. But to imply that he did that heart attack himself, well, that's what I'm talking about, Virgil, when I say that your paper it prints things that are not true, and it destroys families. Do you know how long it took me to convince people that my father died of natural causes? Which was the truth. I found him, and he had died that way.
Yeah, but see, Chastity, you don't seem to be understanding something. My sources are legit. My business is legit. What we print, the stories we decide to go after, the stories we publish, they're all true. That's what the people read, and that's what the people get. And I'll be frank, I don't give a damn how your father died. I don't give a damn about your father at all. But when we are interviewing our people and they are bringing up inconsistencies, we have an obligation to print that stuff. Now, if you will allow me to be so blunt, I would like to speak in ruder terms. I would like the opportunity to please you in a way that none of these other men that have come in your door have done. I would like that opportunity from you. And in return for that opportunity, I will forget about publishing the story about how you are the stubbornest woman in this county and how men are coming in at all hours of the night and getting rejected. And I will forget about the story that your greeting card company is in financial ruin, which I know it is, Chastity, because again, I only get to the truth. But I'll forget it, and I won't publish it. And I'll take the Bonham family name out of the paper altogether. Because if that paper is published, and if both of those stories are read by our good readers, as I said, they know it to be true. And your reputation will be dragged through the mud and sullied beyond, well, beyond all form of help or restoration that you or your lovely sister could try and build.
Oh, Miss Bonham, I'm sorry. Penelope and me were just signing some business forms in the back guest house. I didn't know you were entertaining. Hello, Virgil. I'll let myself out.
What? Another one. Oh, another one.
And there goes another one.
Now, Penelope, I am at my wit's end with this town. I'm at my wit's end with that newspaper man.
He's awful.
He told me that the way he gets at truth is by blackmailing people. He said that if I gave a little of myself to him, he would not write a story about our greeting card company being bankrupt, or about homeless men that are walking in and out of this house. And I will say, they're not getting anything from me.
So he offered himself to you? I tried to seduce that man and he turned me down flat right. Maybe I wasn't being forward enough. Maybe I need be a little bit more aggressive. He insulted you. He insulted this family. He insulted the Barnum Sisters Greeting Card Corporation. I will put his head on a spike. Have we at times been off the mark with our greeting cards? Yes, we have. Is it a good idea to put a cat with googly eyes on a my condolences card? Your father passed away. Yes, that's a bad idea. But I stand behind it. And I stand behind you and any man who disparage your character and insult you, come in here and try to bribe you or blackmail you or whatever other B words into having carnal relations with him. When I was passed before him and he turned me down. Why would he turn me down and then go with you? No offense to you. You're a beautiful woman. And I'm gorgeous.
Penelope, are you done?
I'm just getting started. My body is like Venus. My soul, so willing to pleasure people. And I get passed over for a fickle woman who don't want to do what needs to be done for the benefit of a family. I'll just sleep with a man or I'll be forced to.
One more, barkeep. Thank you. Yeah. When I was a boy, not long out of high school, I found myself in jail for a short stint. I had gone out for a night in the town and things had kind of gotten out of hand. I met a man in the holding cell. He told me he was getting ready for what he thought would most likely be a life sentence. He was my age. I asked him what had led him astray, and he looked at me a little sadly. He said, "Well, I suppose I have a love for guns." Imagine that. I never understood how he felt until I stood across the table with Chastity Bonham. That woman. I do not understand what grip she has on my mind, but she definitely does. Every fiber of my being tells me to pack up my things and get as far away from Durham County as I possibly can, and yet something pulls me back. I suppose you know what I'm talking about.
This town reminds me of a dead animal. Killed by a predator, or hell, even by a passing car. It's just ripe for the taking. This town just is laying here, festering and rotting, waiting for any old vulture, any old crow to just swoop in and
pick its
start
bones
feasting.
clean.
What?
Well, I had the image of a flight of crows picking the bones clean. The Bonham sisters.
You get my point, Vernon. And I do have good news on that matter. Chastity is Well, again, considering the offer. But there's a little bit of a trick this time that tips the scales in our favor. When I was over there, Xavier was leaving. He was leaving in a mighty quick hurry, and he was leaving half undressed.
I can always depend on my little brother and business partner to find a way to pull the rug out from whatever it is that I'm planning. Oof. Although, the idea of Penelope Bonham running the alleys with Xavier does make me laugh a bit.
Oh, it makes you laugh, Arden?
Oh, well, what have we here?
Virgil conspiring against the Bonham sisters. Well, you would have gotten away with it if I hadn't been listening. And I'll tell you why I was listening. It's because I've been seducing your little brother, and he gave it up.
Penelope, may I say, let me extend my apologies for not seeing you over there and ordering you a drink. A gin and tonic for the lady.
Thank you. Make it a double. You two, man, think you can get over on us? My sister told me about your proposition. You want to have a Bonham sister, or you'll go to print an article painting us in an unfavorable light? Well, then go ahead, have yourself a Bonham sister. I offer you my breast, sir. This breast has been from Rhode Island to Montana, where it's seen snow and crisp breezes. This breast has migrated through the United States to land here in this county. This breast knows this county, how it's humid. This breast knows its people. This breast should be worshipped and not cast aside. I offer you my breast, so will you take it?
I would like to raise a respectful and utterly earnest toast to our breast. Ms. Bonham, you are the flower of a powerful dynasty in this country, and you deserve our respect.
That is right.
And
This breast deserves respect, and so does my sister. And I would ask all of the patrons in this bar to keep it down and stop hitting the cats that wander in.
the arrangement that Virgil and I were discussing could have positive implications for you as well, Ms. Bonham. There's no reason why scandal has to spread to your name as well. I was, as you know, a sometimes associate of your father. He was given to passions, of course. He once threatened to put my head on a spike. But I respected his business acumen.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Well, it seems to me that if one were to convince Chastity to accept one of our proposals, that perhaps the arrangement for the greeting card company could be arranged so that it benefits all of us. That's as specific as I'm afraid I should get at this juncture.
I would not be opposed to the idea of running a greeting card business myself. I have so many ideas that she has blocked.
I see them in your eyes. Running back and forth, all those ideas, all that creativity, all that passion that wants release.
I have been called a creative genius by several people.
Of course you have. Of course you have. You are a Bonham.
And a Bonham succeeds. That's what we do.
Indeed.
I'm glad you two learned your lesson.
We are chastened, madam.
I should get my sister to marry either you or you.
Either one of us will do fine.
We can hammer out the details at a later date.
And just so we're clear, you're both passing up the opportunity to receive my breast.
Well, brother, I hear celebration is in order. I heard there was a big scene at the bar. Huh. Oh.
I am in no shape to put up with your mockery, dear brother.
Please, no mockery intended. I mean, it's the talk of the town. I mean, Penelope offering her body parts and specifying their mileage in front of everyone. Well, I have to say,
it is a shame you were not there to witness my handling of the more passionate elements of the Bonham clan.
Well, Vernon, dear brother, I surely took a part. I mean, I think softening up the crazy sister had something to do with it.
Are you attempting to take credit at this point, Xavier? No. It is 9 o'clock in the morning and you are clearly reaching midnight already right in front of me.
I would never take the credit from a closer. You, my brother, are obviously the closer. I'm just saying I had a part in it. I did something. I mean, we know it's teamwork, and I gotta tell you, this started to feel almost like Temple City, 12 years ago. We had to leave Temple, remember?
I do remember, Xavier, that we had to leave Temple because of your misjudgment.
Well, again, teamwork. I wouldn't say my misjudgment. I mean, we did a score here, a score there, and then when we went for the big one, something went wrong. But that's not going to happen again this time, is it? I mean, this town will be the biggest score. Durham, that's where we're going to lay our legacy.
This is this tone that creeps into your voice right before you get ready to knock down the whole house of cards. Xavier, can I ask you to be still for one moment as I pull this off? This is the end of the road for us. This has to happen. Do you understand me?
Define end of the road for me.
We are out of money, Xavier. We are out of money. I cannot afford to uproot and run and change our names once more. I cannot afford it. I have carried you around ever since you left Mama's breast, just about. I have lied for you. I've stood in the way of blows meant for your face. And now I'm afraid I'm out of options.
So you're suggesting that right now, before everything works out and our biggest score ever just pans out, you're suggesting that you think you can do better on your own. Is that what it is, big brother? Just so we're clear. You know.
I had a conference with Mr. Barnum not 5 months ago. He would
God rest his
joke
soul.
all the time about how if one more deal went south, he would toss himself out a window or throw back a bottle of sleeping pills or lay down on a railroad track. He had a dark sense of humor. He spoke to me. He said that he didn't see anything that was left for him. That's what he said. He had that far away look in his eyes. I never understood it. I never understood. I said, how could a man this rich feel that hopeless? Well, I have a bit more of an idea now. I'm going to lay down.
Penelope, you get your, I'm going to say your ass into this room right now. I do not appreciate you trying to undermine me at this business, Penelope. What are these papers? What are these papers that are being signed by a judge? Say that you are going to take over this business.
They're the papers I made with my lawyer friends. You took my ideas.
I didn't take your ideas, Penelope. I just shut your ideas down because your ideas don't make no sense for a greeting card company. They just don't.
Have all of my ideas for greeting cards been good? No. Was it a good idea to show a picture of a woman pregnant on food stamps as a bridal shower card? No. But I stand behind it, just like I've always stood behind you.
Until now. What are they giving you, Penelope? Tell me what be so valuable, so much more worthy than being my sister and backing up this company?
They're giving me my life back.
What life is that? What life is that, Penelope?
A life on my own terms. I feel like I have to run every little idea I have by you. And then you'd say, oh no, Penelope, that's crazy. Nobody wants a pop-up. I'm sorry that you have chlamydia card.
Penelope, I swear, what I have done for this company was for the best of the company. We need to have straight, clear messages in our cards so people would buy them. And every time we had those messages in them, people bought them. And every time I took a chance on one of your cards, they didn't sell at all, Penelope, not one. And I told you that maybe a few sold, but you know why, Penelope? Because I bought them for myself. I made sure that there was a little bit of profit in there to make you feel better about yourself. But I have worked very hard after Father died to make this company. I'm trying to get it back on its feet. And you are now ruining it. You are taking it away. What do you think those lawyer friends of yours are going to do with this company? They're going to They're going to make it go into the ground, Penelope. They don't want this company as a greeting card company. They just want to come in and take the money from it, and they are going to run, Penelope. They're going to leave you. They're going to leave you here with nothing. You're going to have the same life that you have now.
Penelope! Penelope, you open this door, Penelope! What have you done? What have you done? Penelope,
I did what needed to be done.
I saw that. The addendum that all profits and everything should stay in the Bonham family name. I saw this. What have you done? You have betrayed me, Penelope.
I told you, men, not to mess with the Bonham sisters.
You are a liar. You are an absolute liar. We had an agreement.
We had an agreement, but I have changed the agreement. And I no longer offer you my breast, sir.
And you withdraw your breast as well. You have humiliated me, Penelope Bonham. I will not stand for it.
Oh, well, if you won't stand, why don't you fall down this flight of stairs?
You cannot. You have pushed the lawyer down the stairs. Oh, Penelope, I'm going to have. Oh.
I did it for us. I did it for us. It's only you and me. It's only you and me. You and me.
Penelope.
Vernon, you are quite a sight. My goodness. It's like you were fighting with organized crime rather than just like two little helpless sisters. Well, Vernon, you must be wondering what's inside this here suitcase. Well, I'm leaving town, and you can come with me if you want. I'll tell you a little story before I do, though. When Penelope signed over all the power of attorney forms, I realized she had no idea about any of the business accounts, and there was one account there that nobody has touched for years, with quite a bit of a nest egg. So, as the executor, I decided to put that account in a safer place. Essentially the suitcase that you see right here. So, I still haven't found a new little town that'll fit all my needs, but I'm well on my way. So, as my brother, you're welcome to join. I'll wait in the car for about a minute. And if you're not there, then farewell, brother.
Thanks so much for joining us today, or tonight, or wherever you are. We had a great time. We hope you did too. A special thanks to our chat moderator, Allison, and our tech improviser, Christian. We have one more suggestion to ask of you for next Friday's IPF class presentation of Antiques on the Road. If you could enter into the chat for us a suggestion of a city in the US. We'll record those and make sure you tune into Antiques on the Road here next Friday at 7 p.m. to see if your suggestion was used. Well, while you're doing that, we'll take a moment to introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Elliot Davis.
Your own Shawnee.
And Betty Burns.
And I'm Pardavani. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for those suggestions, and we'll see you next time.